want you to stop right now, whatever you're doing. Don't listen to this one first. Go back and listen to our first episode with Erik. I can't remember what episode. It's probably been about, I don't know, what do you think, 4, 5, 6 months?
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's been a year, so.
No, it hadn't been that long. But we're not going to cover everything that we did last time, which was pretty much dive into everything that you've been up to. But Erik Lavigne, am I saying it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Bring that mic a little closer to you. I'm going to teach you some things.
Right here?
No. Bring it towards you. Yeah. There you go, Dad. There you go. Right in your face.
So Erik Lavigne is somebody that I'd wanted to have on the show for a long time. How long have you been doing the DTV? Or Two Cops, One Donut?
Two Cops, One Donut.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It's been going since April of 21.
Yeah.
So
okay.
4+ years.
Yeah, and I feel like I picked up on what you had going on pretty early in the game because I was astounded.
Because we reached out. I think you figured out pretty quickly in the area that I was near, and I saw, it's the algorithms. It puts things that are close to you. So I saw that you were close.
Yeah.
So I think I started following you pretty quickly, just because it concerned me, and so I was like, "Oh, let me follow this guy."
Yeah.
And then, just started seeing your stuff, and you were reaching out, and we were trying. You were like, "Hey, I'm going to be live over at this spot. I'm going to be live." So you were doing a lot of live things at actual locations.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to go. One, I wanted to go because I wanted to learn,
Right.
because I wanted to be able to do the same thing. And I have done a couple live events since then, just not regularly, and it's always a problem. There's always something that goes wrong.
What's the major problem that you're running into?
It's never the same thing. That's the problem.
Okay.
One time it's just getting a stable connection. The other one, it's getting your lighting set up. The next is trying to get just your cameras to show, like, just things.
Yeah.
Things. There's always
It's a lot of
something.
technical issues.
And you have to bring as much things as you can think to bring with you.
Right.
And if you forget something, oh my God.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Well, and the more you do it, the more you bring more stuff you end up not needing because you just want to have everything. So I've just got rolls and rolls of XLR cables and extra SD cards and just anything I could think of. I've got a box for that. So, but I think that with podcasting, it's not necessary to go out and do live events, but I feel like if you're on my level, I feel like you've absolutely blown past me in many different regards. But if you're on my level, it's important to get out and like actually do community stuff. Like maybe it's a car show, maybe it's Arts Goggle, whatever. Just make up an excuse and get out there and start talking to people.
Yeah, I like doing it. I like because I do nonprofits every time that I do a live. So it's just fun watching people walk by and they see everything set up and they're like, "What's that over there?" And you're like, "Come on, sit down. Come have a seat. Tell me why you're here. Who are you?"
Yeah, and I've done that too, where you just like you have it all ready to roll, and whenever somebody does exactly what you're talking about, just like, "Hey, come on, give me a minute. Tell me where you're from, why you're here today."
Yep,
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I like doing it.
So, we dug into a lot of the why Erik does what he does and how it all started. So if y'all want to get that part of the story, you can go back and listen to our last recording with Erik. But what was this? Was this yesterday or it was the day before?
Day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had come to my attention that there must be something big happening with Erik and Two Cops, One Donut, because I was seeing some pretty wild stuff. More people were involved in the videos. It wasn't just you. And I know that you've got a group of people that you work with creatively, so that wasn't a huge surprise. But something about it told me that he's up to something big.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to you and I was like, "Can we talk about this?
What the hell's going
on, man?" And so then we jumped on a phone call and you spilt the beans and told me the full rundown. And then I was like, "We got to get together and put this on a recording."
Yeah, I like it.
So that's why we're back today. And I guess just take it away, man. Tell us what just happened.
You're not going to get the mic back for a while.
I know.
So as I told you, the podcast was going great. I mean, it's not like I'm got millions of subscribers or anything like that, like, you know, Joe Rogan or any of that. So if you're listening, you're like, well, man, this guy must be huge. No, it's not that I'm huge by any means. And I'll give you numbers just so you can equate in your head. Across all of our platforms, just for Two Cops, One Donut, we've got about 400,000. So it's grown significantly. But again, it's not like millions and all that stuff.
And how often are you guys putting out an episode?
We're doing live streams once a week. I do interviews as I get them. Just because it's harder to do and get the time and edit and all that stuff with the live streams. I don't have to. It's a very low maintenance type thing. So get the interviews when I can. But
so you're averaging probably about 1 or 2 episodes every week.
Yeah, something like that. And I do reels and shorts every day.
Yeah.
I actually, you'll laugh because you know the process for a lot of this stuff. I'll film 30 or 40 shorts in here. I'll pile up all my retro rifle shirts for my sponsor on this table because I got like 17 of them. And then I get the camera set up in front of the thing, and then I just go through. Yeah. And it's like, I watch a video, I react to it. I watch a video, I react. It takes a few hours, but I get 30 or 40 of them, so I got the whole month covered.
Yeah. Now you're just editing.
And I just edit them once a day. Yeah. Yeah, I wake up. That's the first thing I do. It's kind of like how I wake up. It's just start editing, post it by noon usually on everything, and then I'm done. Yeah. So yeah. So we were growing, and the point that I'm getting to is I saw the writing on the wall that there's a lot of other cops out there that feel similar to how I feel, but they've got their own ways of explaining that. And as you were saying, you saw that I had more and more people around me. Well, I gained a co-host, which was Banning Sweatland, who is a retired deputy out of Texas. And then I gained Trey Mosley out of California. He's only been a cop 3 years. And Trey's got a very young rookie mindset towards policing. So that's a unique, and it's California. So another unique perspective. I got Detective Matt Thornton out of the Chicago area, and he's an SRO, school resource officer, and he's pretty close to retirement, but that's another perspective. And we got, let me see, behind the scenes, I got Alan Nelson and Deadleg, Josh Henderson, both. They're just out of law enforcement, but one was Colorado. The other one was, Podunk, Texas area. And they're my tech guys behind the scenes. But I get them on the show, just like Jamie on Rogan's podcast. Yeah. They're constantly popping up. You get to see them all the time. Yeah. But, yeah, so I grew this network, and then I started thinking, and Jared Cosina, I forgot about him, and Anthony Christian from Badge 502. Anthony Christian is a EMT and dispatcher. So I've got the EMT and dispatcher side of things. And then I also got Jared Cosina, who just like this year retired from Salt River PD in Arizona, which is a tribal land. So he's got 3 different jurisdictions that he was that he was working with. So that was different in itself. So I'm covering a big array.
Did you also have, I don't know why this might be completely wrong. Did you have a felon that was part of the group as well?
No. So Matt Thornton, he's all tatted up. He looks like a felon, but maybe
that was another project y'all did where y'all had a guy that had done some time, and he was in y'all's little group and helping y'all with content. And I thought that was great because it balanced it out even more.
Well, I've got people that yes, that kind of. I do.
Not part of the regular group.
Yeah, they're not in that network, but they do help consult and do stuff with us all the time.
Got it.
But just for like what you said, it gives us a well-rounded perspective.
Absolutely.
That's more of Matt's people behind him as well. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we do kind of.
Yeah.
But so I got with all these people. And they've all got, most of them got their own little social media following. Matt's got a pretty big one. Yeah. I think he's sitting at like 500,000 on YouTube, which is nuts.
On YouTube, that's impressive. Very impressive.
So I'm at like 20,000 on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm not even close.
Also very impressive.
I'm not even close to that. But and then like Badge 502, I think he's sitting at like 2 million across the board on all his platforms.
Right.
So our network between those guys, I mean, they're doing the heavy lifting compared to me, but combined, we're sitting around 3 million, almost 4 million.
Yeah.
With all the platforms combined. And that's when things started to change. I was like, hey, we kind of have a network going. And I was like, I kind of want to turn it into a network, like an actual network. But I had no clue what that meant. And simultaneously, behind the scenes, my buddy Chris Hatchett, who's the one that taught me how to do all of this, editing and cameras and stuff like that as I was going. You know, it was a matter of YouTubing things, trying to figure it out. And when I get stuck, then I call Chris because he lives out in Seattle now. He's from Texas, but now he lives towards the Seattle area.
Well, and you can do so much on YouTube. I mean, I've taken apart engines before just watching YouTube videos.
Part of it is not knowing the right questions to ask. And a lot of times if I could just get him to tell me, is like, well, you're trying to do this. And so, oh, okay. And I just hang up.
Right.
He's like, you just hung up. I was like, well, I can look it up now. I don't need to waste your time. So, but there would be nights that we're on the phone with, FaceTime. And I'm like, all right, what do I do next? He's like, all right, you go to this, you do this in Premiere. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, he taught me that side of it. And then he got nominated into this Emmy Guild. That's not what it's called, but I keep calling it the Emmy Guild. It's just people that vote for Emmys.
Somebody's going to appreciate that.
Yeah. So he gets voted in, and one of the people that voted him in had told him that she'd been in the industry 30 years. She's won an Emmy herself. Her name's Paulina Williams, but she was looking for a project that meant something, not something that was about money. Because she's done everything under the sun. She just wanted something that meant something to her. So Chris told her about me. And then she started stalking all my stuff to see. And a few months go by. I don't know any of this is going on, by the way. A few months go by. She wants to have a Zoom meeting with me and Chris. And she basically sits us down and is like, just tell me what your dream is. And so I just unload. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to create shows. I want to create, I want to be a media person or a marketing person for law enforcement businesses. I want to help departments get their voice out there better. I just started going down like all these different things I wanted to do. Yeah. And
hey, she asked.
And and I said, I want to create a network. I want it to be like all of my guys. I don't want to be front and center. I want them to be front and center.
Right.
I was like, eventually I'd like to be in the background and just, help direct their shows in the way that I think would help. And I said, that's what I want to do. And she's like, well, then let's do it. I was like, I don't know how. She's like, that's what I do. She goes, I will help take you to that next level. So we talked, it wasn't like an overnight decision by any means, but kind of. And
so when she said that she wanted to help you, was she just talking about years of experience in that life and kind of helping you connect the dots?
Yes.
She didn't just write you a big old check for $1 billion.
No. Okay. No, money had nothing to do with it. It was literally, you can only get so far.
Yeah.
And then you're going to hit a wall of what you don't know. And I think I was there. Mm-hmm. I had little things that I could try to pick at.
Yeah.
But I was to the point I could no longer do it alone, and I needed help. Or I could have just stuck with what I was doing. It was working. I wanted it to be more. I was like, there's so much more we could be doing, and I'm limited because I don't know how to do any of this other stuff. And that's where Paulina and Chris really came in because they had those connections. Paulina's got a background in docutainment, docuseries, newscasting because she worked for the news for quite a long time. So she knows how to put these projects together, do things quickly, and deal with filming, know. And then Chris was on the ad side, like commercial side of things. Like he did things for Red Bull and all these other big companies for commercials and stuff like that. So the two together with me, like kind of works out.
Yeah,
or it is working out, I should say. And so then we started coming up with show ideas, and that's kind of what you started seeing. is I got with the teams, all of our guys, and said, this is what I want to do. I need you guys to start slapping what we're calling DTV, the Donut Network. So, because it's just a, self-deprecating, ongoing cop joke that we keep doing. So I was like, let's just do that. DTV, the Donut. And that's our network. And now we're creating shows, and we've filmed 2 pilots. What you saw, we went to Arizona. Basically, the 2 ideas for the shows. One is a real-time crime center show. So for those listening, you're like, what the hell's a real-time crime center? It's a behind the scenes. I want you to picture kind of like dispatch, but on steroids. And instead of dealing with dispatch calls, they're helping the patrol officers directly in the field. So dispatch is still going to take those dispatch calls. You're going to call 911. You're going to talk to a dispatcher. But while you're doing that, in a real-time crime center, there's people behind the scenes, both cops and professional staff, that are taking the information that you're giving to that dispatcher, and they're digging into it so the officer doesn't have to while he's going to the scene. The hope is they're doing it in real time, so while the officer's there, he can deal with what's in front of him and not have to worry about the little side things to get information.
Right.
So we're getting as much information and updating their call for them. Dispatchers can't do that. So we're also able to operate city cameras. We're able to operate drones. We're able to operate body cameras. We're able to do all of this stuff for the officers while they're out there. So imagine you're an officer, you show up to a scene that's hot and you're by yourself. You have no other set of eyes. And let's say you needed to get out on the radio because you're getting in a fight or whatever. We're already tapped into your body camera. We know what's happening.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about getting the message out. We're getting it out for you. And we're able to see exactly where you're at and get that information out. So that's how that real-time crime center operates.
Like you're kind of like Alfred, like Batman's Alfred.
Yes.
You're the tech guy. You're back at the Bat Cave, just making sure everything's going smoothly.
Absolutely. So the point is for that show is I wanted to highlight real-time crime centers. Most people don't know what they are. Yeah. Other departments don't know what they are because there's not a lot of departments that have them. So I want them to see the tech. I want them to see the people behind the scenes. I want them to see different working models, because what works in, Dallas PD doesn't work over at Scottsdale, Arizona. The cultures are different. The technologies they have may be different.
Yeah.
So the point is to show what those techs are, to help the community understand what that job does and what they're doing, so they don't think it's a big brother and that they're overstepping.
Yeah.
So you got that accountability, transparency, and it's really just a show about showing the community how they're empowering their police to help them. And it's a team effort. It's not just the police doing it. It's not just the community trying to do it. They're working together, and this shows. There's literally an app that they can get, the one that we filmed in Scottsdale. I think it's called this Citizen Live or something like that. And it's through Axon and Fusus. They're 2 different companies that join partnerships. They partnered. And it allows you to hit that app. If you see something going on, you can start live streaming it. That real-time crime center will see it on the map that, oh, we got somebody live streaming over here. They'll click on that icon, and they automatically can see what's going on. And
is that available across the U.S.? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's the name of the app?
I would have to find it.
I'll have to look that up.
I think it's called Citizen.
But Axiom is the name of the...
Axon and Fusus.
Axon.
Yeah. So
I bet if you look that up in the Play Store.
Yes. Yes. So it's pretty badass. It's giving the community the ability to fight back.
Let's chase a rabbit hole real quick, a rabbit trail, while you're talking about what's going on. But as far as like Big Brother, it's something that if somebody from the 1980s could see where we're at right now with all the cameras and the surveillance, they'd be like, "Oh no, that's awful." But we're kind of getting used to it,
yes.
Right? And now, I mean, drones and police departments are setting up these live crime centers. Is that what you called it?
Real-time
crimes.
Yeah.
I was trying to repeat that to Megan last night. She finished the sentence for me.
It's a mouthful. Yeah. Imagine being a board member for the National Real-Time Crime Center Association.
Yeah, we're going to have to get to that.
Is a pain.
You've got all this technology wrapped around and each one of our officers, and that's great. and I'm here for it. And above all else, I just want to make sure our officers are safe and that we're doing everything we can to protect our community.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side of it.
You can't violate the Constitution while you're doing it.
Are we ever going to get to a point where we went too far? Because I know that departments are looking at, well, maybe we can get the drone to write tickets for us.
Oh God, no.
I mean, it's a thing. Like they're deploying drones to crime scenes first.
Yeah.
A 911 call or whatever, and putting them out there, see what's going on, and then maybe the officer doesn't even have to come out.
Right. It saves response times. It saves
It's keeping people safe.
Keeps people safe. It saves the city a lot of money. I mean, overall, I think it has the potential of saving them a ton of money because you don't need to have an officer respond.
Right.
Every time an officer doesn't have to respond, that's gas money. That's time. That's liability issues, less chance of a use of force, less chance of anything going wrong. So,
but I mean, if you project far enough forward, and I'm sure you've thought of this, it is absolutely one day it's going to happen where somebody's going to lose their life or there's going to be massive damage to property. And the argument is going to be, well, if the policy hadn't have been to send a drone and we had an officer there, this could have been prevented. That's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
And so I wonder, what are we winding up and what should we prepare for with this new wave of technology and how quickly police departments are absorbing that new tech?
Yeah. Well, like anything, you push the limits till you hit it.
Yeah.
And then you bounce back, and then we kind of end up finding that middle ground. So as all this new tech comes out
retroactively.
Yeah. So as all this new tech comes out, that's exactly what's going to happen. We're gonna test the limits of where we can go, where the citizens are comfortable with, and then we're gonna dial it back and then hit that happy medium, and that will last until the newest, latest, greatest tech comes out, and the citizens are all for it, and they realize, well, maybe it's not what we want, and you'll find this happy ground because the citizens drive the innovation. That's how it goes. So in the way that I explain this to people is, prior to Rodney King, we didn't have cameras in cars.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing.
Is that when it started?
Yeah. So Rodney King happened.
94?
Yeah, around 92, 94. Then cameras became a thing in the cars. That was what the citizens wanted.
Yeah.
And then use of force policies changed because that's what the citizens wanted. Prior to that, most of the time, it was out of sight, out of mind. It wasn't that the culture was against it. Then they just didn't care until they could see it.
Well, and there's an intersection with technology too.
Right. So they're like, all right, we're not a big fan of this. We don't like that. Change it. Okay. We'll change it to this. And now we got cameras in the cars. They're like, all right, we're happy. And then fast forward, I think it was Brown. What's his name? Erik Brown? No.
What year do you think?
I can't remember. It was for body cams. The big push for body cams.
But it seems like everybody's got them now.
Mike Brown. That's what it was. So it was the Michael Brown case. I said Erik Brown. So the Michael Brown case, that kicked off the want for body cams. And look what happened. Now we all have body cams.
Everybody's got them. Yeah.
Cops love them. We've got officers that's all they know. I was a cop before they had them, but there's officers out there now that's all they know. They're dependent. I became dependent on it. I didn't want to leave the office without it.
Yeah.
So my point being is the people push where the cops go. That's inevitable. It's just how it is. It's slow going, and it's not at the speed that the citizens want, but historically, policing's always gotten better, and it's always because of the citizens' wants.
Yeah.
And so it's just where it's going. And then we fast forward to today with the drones and the robot dogs and, the UAV drones, the unmanned ones that you can do from the real-time crime centers and stuff like that. You have to be ahead of that as a police department to make sure you're not violating people's rights.
Right.
And to make sure you don't overstep. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, is being open and transparent right from the start and inviting people in. Come check it out. This is how we're using it. This is why we're using it. We've already got policies in place that we can't use it outside of this. And guess what? Technology is so good these days that if you log on and you do something stupid, guess what? It's tracked you.
Yeah, because you have fingerprints are all over.
You have a unique identifier, and we're going to see that because we're going to audit regularly by citizens. standpoint. There's going to be a third party that will audit our stuff on a regular basis to make sure we're not overstepping. And if the supervisors are doing their job the right way, they should be catching that if anybody tries to abuse it anyway.
Right.
So that's where the National Real-Time Crime Center Association comes in.
Yeah.
The NRTCCA.
Do you know any board members?
Yeah, I know several. Yeah. I am one. So I currently am the executive board member. I'm the vice president of training. Mm-hmm. And that's part of my goal, is to make sure that we take all these really great tools and make sure that we're not overstepping, that we're not abusing these cool new toys that we got so we lose them. I don't want to lose them.
Is this kind of the scope of the organization?
Yeah. So our job is to, one, stay ahead of the game, see what all the latest and greatest tech is.
Okay.
Let our members know this stuff is out there. Then we try to get a hold of anybody that's using it and get their input. Like, how are you guys like it? Through all these departments that have them, we know the right connections. So if you're a department, you're like, hey, we want to get the new Brink drone. And we're like, oh, okay. Well, we know this department over here has been using it for 6 months. Let us get you connected with them, so you guys can talk it out. Like, so we're not a middleman for like trying to relay messages. They can talk directly to people that are using the stuff that they're interested in. So we're agnostic. We don't say, use this one, this is the better one. No, we're like, this is what's available. Here's the people that are using them. Go ahead and try those out. Go talk to these guys or do that. Or we can get them connected to whatever business they want to talk to. If they want to get the Axon drones or whatever, we can say, okay, we know a connection here. Get that number, and then we put on training. We show, we'll invite those companies to give us like a training curriculum, and then we'll invite people out.
This is great, because I think a lot of people that don't have any first responders, any officers in their family, or they just have no idea what goes on that side of life, that field. They probably don't know how divided all the police stations are, or the police departments,
right?
Nationwide. I think that growing up, I just assumed that if a cop in Los Angeles had a certain tool at their disposal, or if they had a policy, that another cop in, say, Dallas, Texas, they're gonna have the same things.
And
they're gonna have the same uniforms. They're gonna have the same cars. They're gonna have the same everything, and it's not like that. And they don't communicate, and it causes problems, and it leaves some departments kind of handicapped.
Yeah.
To the new technology, the new tactics, and anyway, so that's good that organization exists, and that's national, right?
Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of one of the next goals, is what we've learned with the real-time crime centers. Like, say you are a big department like Dallas or LAPD, NYPD, but you got all these smaller agencies around you in your county that they can't afford a real-time crime center, or they think they can't afford one, or they don't have the staffing model or manpower to get one set up, or they just don't know how to do it. What we're focusing on now is trying to regionalize. And what we mean by that is, you would take a department and that has an up-running real-time crime center, and then you reach out to all the surrounding agencies and tell them, hey, if we regionalize, you guys have to give us a body and your info. So whatever cameras access they have, whatever softwares they've got, you got to give us access to that info and provide a body over here at our real-time crime center. But in doing that, you don't have to create a real-time crime center, and we'll be able to cover your city 24/7. That's the goal. 24-hour coverage, partnering by sharing information. Because as you said, departments that are right next door to each other, like Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, they don't know what's going on with each other.
No,
they know a little. Their communication channel is a garden hose, and what I am proposing with regionalization would be a river. So that's how much it opens up the channel of communication. And so that would be, to me, that should be the next goal for all departments out there. If you know you've got a successfully working real-time crime center model, and you start communicating throughout your county, because I think that's how you start. Just focus on your county and get everybody on the same path there, because if you can't get the people that are around you, you're not going to get the people that are even farther.
Yeah.
So,
well, now didn't the just recently, Fort Worth EMS fire department, they just took over MedStar.
Yep.
And I was out there talking to Craig Trojic. He's their PIO. And a friend of mine was telling me a couple days ago, he's like, I'm so tired of you talking about the MedStar changeover. But anyway, it's relevant. Dustin, if you're listening, sorry.
They're still dealing with it as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge undertaking. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts. But I mean, they kind of have that same regionalization going on through their member cities, and they've got a ton of them. And so the ambulances now, which used to be MedStar, and are now directly underneath the fire department, they service all of the member cities. Mm-hmm. And I guess, is that a good comparison of regionalizing?
Comparison. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So that is that's the goal, getting that. And then because of all these emerging technologies, we've created new boards of directors for those specific things. So now we have a drone board of director. Yeah. So we can have somebody that can focus on that. Yeah. There's a lot of grants out there. So now we have a grant writing board of directors. Mm-hmm. So all of these different aspects in this association are going to help other departments as they're getting going, because these things aren't cheap, and
there's a learning curve.
Yeah. Grants, you can only really get grants if it's something you truly can't afford. You can only get grants if it's something you've never had before. Mm-hmm. And those don't necessarily cover reoccurring costs. Right. So you might get that grant for that year,
but not next year.
But not next year. And they're expecting you to take it over because grants aren't supposed to be forever. Yeah. And then the problem is you get dependent on these new tools because they are helping so much. Yeah. So you really got to, that's where the regionalization really comes into play. It's the same mission, because everybody's got, cops across the nation, all have the same mission. Help keep citizens safe in their area. Mm-hmm. That's it. I mean, there's other things they're trying to do, but that's the main squeeze for everyone. Yeah. And by having that same goal, when you regionalize, that is exactly what you're offering. You're offering to help keep everybody citizens, because the bad guy in my city doesn't stay in my city. No. He goes across these invisible borders.
He's trying to get to Texarkana.
Right. And they're committing these crimes in all these other spots. So we have to come together. It's the only next logical evolution of policing.
It makes perfect sense. And I'm serious. I think that most people just think that they all communicate and they all work together, and it's just not the case. But they should, because, I mean, more true now than ever, but it's been like this for decades. DFW is just one big saucy pan of stuff. I mean, you don't know what city you're in most of the time. And it's the same for every other large city across the U.S. I mean, it's not just DFW. So it would, like you said, it's just natural progression. They all need to be working together. They all need to be sharing resources, because and I don't think we're in it together.
I don't think it's ever been because they didn't want to. It's just the technology. We were limited. Yeah. I can't be playing phone tag every day, calling and trying to get updates of emails, and you tell me, what crimes did you have in your city today? I got to worry about the crimes in my city.
Take care of you. Let us focus on us.
It's only when you find out your bad guy, committed these crimes, and you start following that trail, and you realize it keeps going back to, Arlington or wherever. And you're like, oh, maybe he's hitting over there. Let me call a detective over there. Hey, do you have this problem? Do you know this person? Oh yeah, he's been hitting licks over here left and right. And you're like, I think we got the same guy. and then that's when the light bulbs start going off. Like, that was the means of communication between the departments. It's very limited. But now with this technology, like, there's a company called Peregrine, and Peregrine allows the ability to virtually regionalize. So I'll give you an example. Real-time crime center. We've got all these pan, tilt, zoom cameras, right? Throughout the city.
Old school.
Yeah. And you have a special event. Let's say we're at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, right? Okay. That special event's going on. We got a game going on. It's all hands on deck during game time. Right. Because that's a huge terrorist target potential. Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of things that can go wrong. So you need all hands on deck for those. That's a lot of manpower. Right. Using this program called Peregrine, I can take 5 cameras, bundle them, provide a link, send it to an agency, say, hey, can you help me watch these cameras? because we just don't have the manpower. Just need some people to watch these cameras. Cool, we got you. All right, I got this other 5 cameras. Send it to another agency. Hey, can you guys watch these cameras? These agencies don't need to have Peregrine. They just need that link.
Oh, wow.
And they got to have an MOU. You know, there's certain things that you want to have, but legally and liability-wise, but you now have the ability to do a virtual regionalization. You're
just kind of divide that workload.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so things like that. That's why I push, you know, and if you're listening to me, go check. If you're a police department, go check out Peregrine because it is going to change policing.
Was it our conversation we were talking about that company a couple days ago? Because that name is like super like fresh on my mind. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I keep pushing them because it's crazy how they're going to change police work.
Yeah. I wonder if they trade publicly. That sounds like a company I want to invest in.
I don't think they do yet. But
also, you know, as we're talking about the rollout for all this new tech, I think that whenever we watched Terminator growing up, Skynet, yeah. we just assumed that it was going to be the tech billionaires that brought on Skynet. But there's a possibility it's our local police officers.
Right?
You guys are loading up the skies with drones and connecting all the technology.
I know.
It could be Peregrine, could be Skynet. let's just get that on the record.
Yeah.
Get that one right.
Yeah. All that their stuff does is give you your
just access.
Yeah. So if you're listening, like, well, how does it work? It's like imagine having Google, but it doesn't access the internet. It only accesses all of the softwares that you have.
Yeah.
So it's an internal search program.
Yeah.
And it allows them all to communicate. And one of the cool things that it does is it can, for cops, we have a report writing system. We have a CAD system, which is what dispatch uses and sends to the cars. So that's where your dispatch calls go to. So you have that CAD system. And then you have your evidence area, like evidence.com. That's where all our body cam footage goes to. So let's just stick with those 3 things. They don't communicate together. They're all independent entities that you have to access. And if I'm looking up Joe Smith, who's my suspect, bad guy, and I want to know as much about him as I can find out, I got to go into that report writing system. I got to go into the CAD, and then I got to go into evidence.com and see when he's been contacted, what his history is, all of these different things.
Yeah.
But through this program Peregrine, I'll type in Joe Smith and it'll bring everything up and give you, in a hierarchy of like relevance, everything about him. Even pull up body cam video and show hot maps where he's been contacted last.
How wild is that?
Crazy, right?
That's really wild.
It can look through your report and tell you leads to follow. So it'll turn one of the crappiest detectives into like the next Sherlock Holmes.
Don't be committing crimes anymore, folks.
Right.
Whatever you were thinking about doing,
but
find a new hobby.
One of my favorite things about it, because I always preach transparency and accountability, checks and balances, it allows police departments to make sure their detectives or whoever is doing their job. Because traditionally what we would have to do is I'd have to read every case that you're dealing with and then make sure you follow it. The system is not set up to do that.
Yeah.
There's no supervisor in the world that could do that. There's just too much. So it having the ability to do that for them in a very short amount of time, we're talking seconds, allows them to go through, okay, here's some leads. Yep, okay, it looks like they followed up on all these leads. Cool, he's following that case appropriately. And it gives quality assurance to that, the customer, which is the community. You're making sure you're taking care of the victims. But more importantly, you're keeping your officers honest, because
I've got an example story. So y'all know Erik would never lie to you, but here's some proof. I was talking to a friend at a unnamed department, and that friend was having to conduct an investigation on one of their officers. And so, to your point, this system is not just built so that officers can do their job more effectively, which is also great, but it also keeps them accountable as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And that's one of the things that, as much as we worry about tech overstepping in our citizens' rights, just know it's helping keep your officers in check as well. And you you can't mess with it. Like
Yeah.
there's no way to get in there and doctor it up, to hide it. It's all on its own independent system that you can't mess with. So
We got way off track. We got to get back into it. So we're filming a pilot in Arizona.
Yeah. So we was in Scottsdale.
Okay.
We got permission to film at their police department. They were so awesome. They rolled out the red carpet for us, met the chief, got to film in their real-time crime center and do all that stuff. So it was great experience. Stressful because I'm friends with the person that runs that real-time crime center. So now I'm like stuck between this, huge cast of, movie people, the ones recording, the ones setting up mics, the ones setting up lighting, they're all over this person's real-time crime center.
Yeah.
I'm just like, don't break anything. I'm like,
They will not get another one if you break it.
Yeah, don't make me regret, my buddy doing a solid for me and him not. I mean, honestly, my buddy Chris Hennings, and he runs the Scottsdale Real-Time Crime Center, and he didn't. Me and him both. He's like, what can I expect? I goes, honestly, I don't know. I've never done this. Paulina and Chris are the ones that are getting all that side of the house going. So I had to trust them, and Chris had to trust me, and I had to trust Chris, and it was like this big circle of trust, and it worked. So luckily,
you're working with good people, because that does sound messy.
Yes. So I was very stressed out filming that because it's my friend, and and I know. End of the day, I'm a cop, so I'm always going to lean towards the cop side of the house when it comes to this type of thing, because they did a favor for us, and everybody that's trying to film and do all that stuff. Yes, they're into the mission, but at the end of the day, the mission needs to make money, and they got to get paid. So Chris and we got to catch bad guys. Everybody else got to make money. So I lean towards the got to catch bad guys.
So you've got several number one priorities.
Yes. And I was torn. And so that's where the stress came from. And it was great. We did wonderful. But in that, we also filmed a second pilot, because the other side, I had another show idea, and
y'all weren't planning on filming that, right?
Oh no, we were.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the Real-Time Crime Center show was like the main point.
Right.
But if we got enough funding from sponsors, we were going to try to do this Tech and Order is what we're calling it. I want you to think Top Gear meets Mythbusters meets Dude Perfect. So it's kind of the mix that we were doing there. And we're just, long story short, it's just all the latest and greatest tech and first responders.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to highlight. So what's out there. We're trying to have fun with it. We're being silly. We went out to Axon's headquarters, which is right there in Scottsdale. So we got a 2-for-1 on our pilots. We got to go right there and start filming, and, met Mike Wagers, one of the higher ups there. He introduced us to several techs. The taser, which I was already familiar with, Taser 10, that can fire up to 10 rounds. Like, just to give you a goofy instance of us having fun. When it was my turn to shoot it, I just did all crotch shots on the bad guy. So I
think Arlington just got those.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they. I know they just updated their tasers, and I know it can fire more shots,
like 45 feet. So
that
it's
is so
fired
nuts.
from 25 feet to 45 feet now. 25 feet was the limit on the last one. It shoots individual probes.
Yeah.
So instead of shooting 2 at a time, where you got to kind of get it just
connect
right,
them. Yeah.
you just pop all the way down. So yeah, they're cool. And but yeah, we went out there, we filmed that. That's supposed to be a silly, fun, educational, show, and that's what we went for. The thing that I was kind of telling you is I learned that like how I'm being right now. This is me. Like this is easy for me. This is how I talk to people. But trying to come off this way when it's your project and you're not used to all that stuff and being in that environment, it's very hard to do. So my big worry when we were doing it was like I just wasn't coming across as me. So that bugged me.
Yeah.
But like the last day, I was comfortable finally, and I was being me. So I was like, shit,
wish we could do this over.
I wish I could do this over now that I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So hopefully the pilots kick off and get the support that we need to film 2 seasons, do a season with one, season with the other one, and kind of show what we can do.
I know you told me, but I don't know if we can talk about it on the show. there's an organization that is meeting up here in about 3 or 4 weeks, and they are going to let you get on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because this was really cool.
Yeah, so the NRTCCA, and again, I'll remind you guys, the National Real-Time Crime Center Association.
Just stop.
I get out of breath. We throw a conference every year, and what's kind of funny is this association started about the same time I started my podcast.
Okay,
maybe a year before that, and I've been a part of it ever since. But we throw a conference, and all the latest and greatest tech companies come out, and we put on training. So there's all these trainings that we're putting on and talking about the best practices and the future of real-time crime centers. So, because it's so new, and we're growing and blowing up pretty big. This is the last year we're going to be in a hotel for our conference. We go all around the nation putting on the conference once a year. This year is in Atlanta, Georgia, and next year we're going to be in a convention center. I can't say what state we're going to be in yet because we're revealing that at the conference.
Okay,
but part of that is I will be one of the features for DTV at the conference. So we get to show these pilots, all the companies that got involved, Axon, Code 3, and Peregrine. Shout out to them. They will get to have these little media kits to show little bits and pieces of the recordings at their booth and help brag about us. And hopefully
so cool.
all these other companies see it and they're like, that's cool. We want to be a part of it. And how can we get involved?
That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setup for a slam dunk. I mean, this is awesome.
I know. And that's the rush. People are like, well, why'd you film it so quick? Because we only did it in 5 days. We had a small window to film because that real-time crime center wasn't going to give us a week's worth of, they're like, you got a day or two. That's all you get. So we had to get all that done. And then Axon headquarters, that was a day. So really filming in itself for those projects was 2 days. And then all the little outside things that we did, like we went to a very well-known donut shop in Arizona and met there, and they let us film inside their donut shop.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. And, we're trying to find all these places to do, outside of, how you lead up to it, trying to show all these outside areas to make you fall in love with Scottsdale. So that was kind of the idea. Like, here's the beauty of the city. Here's some of the cool spots. This is where we're at. It's in the desert, So
and you're getting people involved with it, which is cool too. Because now you've got a naturally occurring audience,
right? And the point is, it's a community project. Right. Like, I don't want you to think, here's the police. This is what the police are doing, and this is what the police are going to do. It's here's the community. Here's the department they support, and this is what they've allowed to happen in their city, and here's how it's working. Because that ultimately that's how it should be. It shouldn't be the police dictating this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. It should be, what are your needs? Can we use this to help meet those needs? Here's what we're using, what we want to use, and here's how we're using it. That's how I put it out there. And so that's how the shows are set up.
Well, I'm super excited to see this level of energy behind what you got going on. I told you on the phone 2 days ago that this didn't just happen overnight. 2 cops, 1 donut. You've been in it for over 3 years now, but that's not where the story started. The story started whenever you decided you were going to become an officer. Yeah. You've been working on this your whole life, and now it's starting to turn into something that hopefully will really change some lives, some communities, and some departments out there.
I hope so. Yeah,
but brother, I am so thankful to know you, and I'm just really excited to see what comes next.
Not that big a deal.
Well, you got me rooting for you because you know what? In my little sphere of local creators, it's me, it's you, and a few other people. So anytime my friends start doing really good, it makes me so happy. Yeah. So we're always here for you, and I can't wait to see what's coming next, man.
I appreciate it. What's coming next with Fort Worth Roots?
Well, for people that kind of pay attention, Fort Worth Roots had to kind of ease off the gas a little bit. We were putting out 9 episodes a week, and if you're ever thinking about doing that, don't. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It will wear you out. Anyway,
I
started to, I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah.
But I started to just kind of mentally not be able to tolerate it anymore.
Yeah.
And then we lost some sponsors that had to permanently close their doors. Yeah. Some people that their business just wasn't doing good enough to make sense out of putting that kind of money into a podcast. And just little by little, and as these things started to happen, I just got real down on myself, and I started to kind of back off. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's hard. I was putting out an episode a week. That's hard. With an interview, and then I was also doing the live stream once a week. So that was 2 things. And I had a 40-hour job. Yeah. That was all
and a family.
And a family. And that's all you were doing. So 9 episodes to me is insane.
It is insane. Yeah. And every time I would tell somebody that's in, they didn't even have to be a podcaster. I would talk to photographers or people that were in some kind of similar or, project adjacent environment. They'd be like, "You're doing what?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Thank you for understanding that."
Yeah.
But I was driven to, really make something special for our community. And I got to be honest with you, man. I think I was probably about ready to tap out. And then the folks over at Fort Worth Magazine reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to do an article on you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "We love what you're doing, and we want to sit down and hear your story." And I'm like, "Oh man, that feels really good." Yeah. And then I'm not going to name drop, but somebody very influential in our city was having issues online with some other local social media influencers, whatever. And they called me in as kind of an advisor to help them navigate that situation. Yeah. And the person I was sitting across from that's asking me for my advice on something that I never thought somebody would turn to me for advice on.
Yeah.
And so it's just these little bitty moments. And then I had friends reach out to me and just check on me to make sure I was all right.
Yeah.
And anyway, so all these little things combined, and I was talking to Megan about this yesterday or day before. It's like, it wasn't for nothing. Like the last 5.5 years, we've really accomplished some cool shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't lose anything by just taking a break.
Yep.
So we're about to jump back in it. And I just kind of make sure that we manage it and do it correctly this time.
I would recommend, this is just my...
Not doing 9 episodes a week?
No, it's okay to record 9 things in a week. Just put out 1 or 2 a week, and you can create seasons or something. That's what I would do in your shoes. Create seasons, and maybe a season is a quarter. I'm just spitballing.
It can be whatever.
Yeah, it can be whatever. But let's say it's a quarter, and you get all your stuff recorded, get it done, breathing room, so you don't burn out.
Yeah.
Next season, you already got it because you've already recorded a shit ton of stuff. So now you've got that. Cool. Once that season's all done, put it out on a schedule, breathing room, and now you've got the time to go.
Yeah, of course you're right, man. I just don't know that I could ever really do that because. It's not FOMO, it's genuine excitement whenever somebody wants to do a podcast recording.
Right.
And I want to get into it. And now I want to get it out because I want people to hear it. Because we were talking about something that happened 2 days ago, and I don't want that to become irrelevant.
Right. I get that.
I'm just...
But that's the benefit of doing the seasons is you can get all the cool stuff, whatever you can get scheduled for that little block, get them done. And then if stuff pops up while that's happening, now you got bonus.
So I did that the first year or 2 that I had Fort Worth Roots. I would do it exactly like you're talking about.
Okay.
Like I would do all my recordings and then I would just kind of work my way through it and no big deal. But what ended up happening is I was doing 5 recordings a week and I was putting out 1. And then the next week I would do 6 recordings.
So
and
you
I
got
would
a
put out
backlog.
1. Oh, dude, the backlog was like 30 deep before I was like, ah. And so I just had to stop everything, stop all recordings, and just work on that. And when I finally got myself uncovered, I was like, I'll never let that happen again. And so if I'm recording 9 episodes in a week, it's like, I got to get this one got recorded today. I got to get it out today.
Okay.
Or these 2 or these 3.
Okay. I hope the quality came out all right.
Well, and that's another thing. Whenever I look at a production like yours, I'm like, man, I need to slow down and make it look good, like what Erik does, because I'm struggling to think of any other production in town that looks as good as what you're putting out.
Well,
like you do a great job with the editing
that.
and putting it together.
It's content first, quality next. Because if it sounds good and what you're saying is good, the video doesn't really make a difference.
But your videos are good too.
Yeah. The
whole package. You're doing good.
The shorts and reels that I do, all that is on a phone.
Oh yeah.
I don't use
you can do that.
These nice cameras I have. I don't use that for anything.
No. Yeah, but you totally can do that. Are you using the front facing camera or the? Oh really? Okay, now that's surprising.
Well, I have a wireless
screen.
Confidence screen that just magnetizes to the back of the phone.
Yeah.
And it's my small rig. It's like $60. It's not expensive, and it works really just what I need. So I do that.
Cool.
I'll show you when we get off here.
Yeah.
I've got a cage. You just stick the phone in there, plug in your stuff that you use for it, and
there's so much cool shit.
Yeah, for sure.
We live in the most incredible, so far, the most incredible moment in human history.
Yeah,
and the technology is not only getting cool, it's getting easier. You know, like back in the early 90s, if you wanted to use a computer, you had to know how to code. Like you had to be a genius.
I remember when I used to borrow music off the internet. I would use, there was a thing called MIRC, and MIRC, you had to know the proper commands.
Is that good enough?
Yeah.
We got a confession.
I was a minor, so we're good. We're talking 96, 97.
Yeah.
Before Napster and any of that stuff was out there. Like this was the underground, way to get music. And even then you'd request that server would send the song to you. But now you're waiting,
2 days,
2 days for a song to
load
to load up. So, but that's how I started. I remember having to type out and figure out, because you're seeing people just say it made no sense. It just, none of it.
Symbols and letters and just
and I'm like, what is that? And then you just catch a song name, and I was like, all right,
I think
all of this stuff is important. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, this stuff is that server. So you're requesting that song from that server, and you want 2 of those. Okay, cool.
So for our friends out there that are not old enough to remember when you could bring a bottle of shampoo on an airplane, it would take 2 days to download a song. Yeah. It was insane.
But what makes me happy about growing up that way is 1, I know the struggle, and 2, it's like our folks back in there, you don't know what it was like when you just had 3 cereals and 3 channels on the TV. Like we're the same.
I was the remote.
Yeah, right. So it's the same thing now. It's like my kids have no clue the struggle. Like everything they get just works.
Oh, and instantly, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're like, I'm gonna play this game. Let me download this game in 2 seconds. And because we have fiber here, so I've got fiber connection for the podcast and live streaming. So it's just insane.
Well, Eric, brother, thank you so much.
Sir. No problem.
And, always here to help promote or whatever. And anytime we can get you on the show, new stuff happens.
Studio is yours if you ever need it.
Well, and hopefully one day I'll be able to bring you out to my studio. We're still stuffing insulation into the walls. So.
I hear you. Yeah, it's a pain. I understand the struggle. I went cheap. I just got foam pads. So,
well, tell folks where they can find all of your content. It'll be in the show notes, of course.
So, 2 Cops, 1 Donut. We have a website, 2copsto1donut.com, all spelled out. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. What else? YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. I don't really use the Rumble yet.
I haven't gotten into it,
but we have it.
You on Twitter, X?
X. My X does terrible.
Yeah.
Everything I've grown. Okay, so I started them all at the same time. X is only I think I'm at 500 people, but everything else is like 20,000 more.
I've got like 30 people on Twitter.
Have you done Clapper yet? So Clapper was supposed to replace TikTok.
Really?
If the government took TikTok away.
Okay.
So I jumped on that, like early adopter.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I got like 20,000 followers on there.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
So
we'll be checking out Clapper then.
Yeah. I just, I don't really participate on it that much because nobody else really participates, but people seem to be using it because I keep growing followers. So yeah, I use that. But yeah, everything, just type in 2 Cops, 1 Donut, or try the number 2 Cops, 1 Donut on like TikTok, I think.
Be careful.
Yeah. You'll have all my links.
Don't mess up the combination of words and letters whenever you type in 2 cops, 1 donut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Eric, thanks again. Guys, go check him out. I follow him the most on Instagram and TikTok, just 2 cops, 1 donut. Great content. It's all about trying to encourage people to be informed about what's actually going on in relation to our experience between officers and the community. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace out.